he shares his purpose, saying, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. Through this, God became the God of Abraham. And in the same way, God would be the God of Abraham's descendants after him through the same covenant, generation after generation. God is the God of those who have this covenant. So today, God wants to become our God. So he offers his covenant to us. So those who accept this covenant and live for it become God's covenant people, and God become their God. This covenant, the same covenant given to Abraham in the book of Genesis, is available for Abraham's descendants today and tomorrow. Then the question is, who are Abraham's descendants? The Jewish people thought that they were Abraham's descendants because they were Abraham's biological descendants. But that's not the case. In Genesis, we see that Abraham had two sons, Ishmael and Isaac. But God did not consider Ishmael as Abraham's son. Only through Isaac, Abraham's descendants would be reckoned. So, not all Abraham's biological descendants are Abraham's descendants. About this, when the Jews claimed that they were Abraham's descendants, Jesus said that if they were so, they would do what Abraham did. So Abraham's descendants are those who do what Abraham did. Do you want to be Abraham's descendants? Do you want to have this covenant? Then do what Abraham did. So what did Abraham do? Abraham, when he was called, accepted God's covenant vision by leaving his country, his people, and his father's household and going to the land God showed him. And even though he had many weaknesses and difficulties, he lived for God, holding on to God's covenant vision upon his life continuously, sometimes laughing and sometimes weeping. That's what Abraham did. Abraham lived as God's covenant people, even though it was very hard. Sometimes he was depressed. Sometimes he shed a lot of tears. But somehow he lived as God's covenant person. Abraham's descendants are those who do the same thing Abraham did. The Apostle Paul says that those who walk in the footsteps of Abraham are Abraham's children.